Good evening, guys. Hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. I have discussion B for you tonight. We're discussing England's House of Lords. They're in Parliament discussing extra time for them to debate and the end of life bill that they have going through their House of Lords Parliament. So we're going to discuss that tonight for B. So please join me for discussion B. Okay, the phrase extra time for peers to debate assisted dying signals that the House of Lords has been granted additional parliamentary days to continue scrutinizing the assisted dying bill. This extension was necessary because the sheer volume of proposed amendments, far beyond what is typical, has showed progress to a crawl, has slowed progress to a crawl. Without this extra allocation, the bill risked running out of time before the end of the current parliamentary session, effectively killing it. Procedurally, rather than through substantive debate. Why the extension was granted. Unprecedented number of amendments. Peers submitted more than 900 to 1,000 amendments, to extraordinary figure compared to the usual handful of few dozen. Concerns about obstruction. Supporters of the bill argue that this flood of amendments amounts to filibustering debate delay tactics designed to prevent the bill from reaching a vote. Opponents' justification. Critics of assisted dying insist that the amendments are necessary to safeguard vulnerable people, ensure medical oversight, and prevent abuse. Slow process. After several committee days, fewer than 30 amendments had been debated, raising fears that the bill would be talked out before meaningful consideration could occur. What the assisted dying bill proposes. Eligibility. Mentally competent adults in England and Wales. Diagnosed with a terminal illness and expected to die within 6 months. Process. Applicants would need approval from 2 independent doctors and high court judge and a high court judge. Safeguards. Strict conditions are built to prevent coercion, ensure informed consent, and protect medical professionals who choose not to participate. Impact. If passed, this would mark a historic shift in UK law, aligning it with jurisdictions such as Canada, New Zealand, and parts of the United States. Where assisted dying is legal under strict regulation. Parliamentary timeline and stakes. Private members' bill. Unlike government bills, the legislation faces tighter deadlines and limited parliamentary time. Session deadline. Both Commons and Lords must agree on the final text before spring recess. Otherwise, the bill lapses. Risk of expiring. Without the extra 10 days, the bill would almost certainly fail due to lack of time, regardless of support levels. Political sensitivity. Assisted dying is conscience issue, meaning MPs and peers vote individually rather than along party lines, adding unpredictability to the outcome. Positions and tactics. Supporter groups like Dignity in Dying and Humanists. UK welcomed the extra time but warned against wasting it through procedural gamesmanship. Opponents. Religious organizations, disability rights advocates, and some medical professionals argue that legalizing assisted dying could endanger vulnerable populations and erode trust in healthcare. Parliamentary experts. Some have noted that the Parliament acts which allow the Commons to override the Lords cannot be used here, meaning the Lords' scrutiny is decisive. What happens next? Line by line scrutiny. Peers will continued debating each amendment in committee stage, testing the bill's safeguards and wording. Negotiation of final text. Any changes must be reconciled with the Commons before the deadline. Outcome scenarios. If both houses agree, the bill proceeds to royal assent and becomes law. If time runs out, the bill lapses without need to be reintroduced in a further session, restarting the process entirely. Broader significance. The debate is not just procedural. It reflects a profound ethical divide in UK society. On one side are calls for autonomy, dignity, and compassion at the end of life. On the other are concerns about slippery slope, societal pressures, and sanctity of life. The extra time granted to peers underscores how continuous and consequential this issue is in ensuring that one of the most sensitive moral questions of our age receives the fullest possible parliamentary consideration. Okay, guys, I see you guys tomorrow for shows. For now, Gator Wellness, take care, folks.